Hello again.
Hey, uh, we we've been in the giggly kind of mood, so don't mind us. We're yes, don't mind us. One of the things that I want to make sure we talk about, because one of the questions that came up from our previous podcast that we've done was, I guess we're going to talk about hot dogs again. Hot dogs keeps coming into our podcast.
50% of our podcasts have mentioned hot dogs.
I think we need a sponsor. We need a hot dog sponsor. I think that's what it comes down. I think that's what it is. No. So one of the episodes we did, we talked about the hot dogs in the Azores, specifically the ones that we had in San Miguel. So, and they wanted to know what exactly was so great about, these hot dogs in the Azores. Like, how can they be better than American hot dogs? So the answer to that is, it's really good. It is something completely different than what we have here. And the original time that I ever had, the first time I had it, was when my cousin Anna and her family and all that were like, have you had our hot dogs? And I'm thinking, no, I don't need to have hot dogs here. I have hot dogs in the United States, and we have amazing hot dogs. I don't need to try hot dogs. And they're like, oh, no, 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 no. We've had hot dogs in Canada. We've had hot dogs in the United States, and the hot dogs here are so much better. And I'm like, there is no way you're going to have better hot dogs than in the United States. So we had to go to this gentleman by the name of Mauricio, who has this little kiosk, and he's there in the evening, right by the bank. Is that where it was? I can't remember.
Yeah, over by the arches. But...
yeah, a little bit further down. Or the post office. That was it, on the post office. And my cousin, the first thing she says to him is, she's from the United States, and she's saying that the hot dogs in the United States are better than this one, and we need you to prove her wrong. And so I'm like, oh my God, we're going on a throwdown here of like who makes the better hot dogs. So I said, you've got a lot to prove. And so he made this hot dogs that were out of this world. They are 100% beef hot dogs, and then it was, what was it? Onions, a relish, mustard mayo on the bread, coleslaw,
potato sticks,
and the very top were potato sticks. So you're given this hot dog on this bun where like it is like this. It was out of this world.
What you can't fit in your mouth falls on the floor.
It does.
It's such a mess.
It's such a mess. But
boy, is it good.
So of course I come home. That visit that I went, you weren't with me. So when we went back, of course I come home. I tell him, I'm like, oh my God, next time you go, we're gonna have to try it. And we bring him along, and he goes, and he's like, okay, let's see how great this is. And it was great.
They were terrific.
Yeah,
they were terrific.
It was really good.
I guess we're full in on this hot dog story.
We're really in. So we're done. We're done
with...
We've answered. So that is where you can get it. If you're in San Miguel, you go to Mauricio, and, you got to try it yourself.
All right, but we're 3 minutes in on hot dogs, so we got to keep going.
Oh, no, we're not.
We are. So we love to go grocery shopping when we're on Sao Miguel.
We do. I actually do.
And first off, it's amazing that the hot dogs come in cans or jars.
Yes. That threw me for a loop, because I was looking for a condiment, and I'm going up and down some aisles, and I look, and of course Bob is just like standing in front of these. It's like 5 rows, different rows of...
I think I always take pictures every time.
I think you do. You talk about me taking pictures of food or desserts. You're like, oh my God, you're taking pictures. And sending it to our daughters, who are like, ew, hot dogs in a can in jars. But... whatever.
I don't know.
I don't think those are the ones Mauricio was using.
I don't think so.
No.
But the grocery shopping is fun.
I love going to the grocery store.
The bakery, they bring in a lot of things from local bakers.
But they're also baking.
They make stuff there.
Yeah.
The prepared foods are made on site as well.
Delicious. Always delicious.
So that's always really good. The fresh cheese, you can get it wrapped up in a banana leaf, just like...
yeah. Just really good. Good
the way
stuff.
They used to do it. So that's fun.
Yeah. The wine section. Oh my God, we love the wine section.
Yeah. Remember the time we were there for that long stretch
Yep. Almost a month.
And we were stocking up, and we were buying some wine bottles as gifts. And I remember we were like, well, we're going to buy some good bottles, some real good bottles.
Yes.
And we loaded our carriage, and I don't think we still spent $100. And we were buying like top shelf bottles of wine.
Oh, yeah. And it was a lot of bottles of wine. It was a lot.
It was a lot.
So we're looking at what, normally around here you would find for a $20 for a bottle of wine. It was what? €3? And we're looking at it going, wow, like we paid $20 for this. Here it's €3, and I get it. There's an exchange there. It comes from there. You're not adding tariffs to it and all of that stuff. I get it. But there were wines that we were buying for €10 that were real expensive here, that were like out of this world,
or that we can't get here because they don't produce enough, so they keep it
especially the pico wines
themselves.
Yeah, the pico wines, there's a lot that doesn't even leave the islands. So yeah, I loved doing the grocery shopping, and I loved seeing like everything that's there, and like just the seasonings and things that I know we've got Portuguese stores locally and all that, but they don't have everything here either. And so it's neat to see the stuff that they have and what they're selling. And then some months down the road, I'll go to the, local market, and all of a sudden I'll see the start of stuff that we saw when we were back. So that's neat. That's neat to see.
Right. What were the potato chips we had the first time there? We can get them now.
Oh, we can get them now
locally.
We had prosciutto. That was the.
That's right, the prosciutto.
The prosciutto. Oh, that was fantastic. We had ketchup ones.
The ketchup fries were pretty. Chips were pretty good.
Chips were good. What was the other one? Oh my goodness, I'm like completely, totally blank. But it's like these different flavors that. Oh, chorizo.
Oh, that's right.
The chorizo flavored chips, and it's by Lay's, or Ruffles, or who is it by? It's not like it's made by some, random company, and it's just for that market. And you go, oh my God, this has got to be.
Well, and our grocery stores here have some pretty crazy flavors too. But
it's
just fun to see
yeah.
the different ones. The candy aisle is fun because the different types of Kit Kat bars that we don't have here. Here we have Kit Kat.
We have Kit Kat, but there they have different ones. And
the meat-filled Kit Kat throws me.
No, there's no meat-filled Kit Kat. Don't say that. No, but the thing is the one thing about candy or chocolates in there also is that, you have a Kit Kat, you have, Snickers bars, you've got everything but it's less sugar. So it's less sweet, the chocolate bars there. It's not as sweet as they are here. Even the M&Ms, it's not as sweet. So it's delicious. We don't need all that extra sugar, and but there it tastes different.
But that's fun.
Yeah,
that's
that
fun
is
to
fun.
see as well.
Yeah.
And I just blanked on the other food thing that I thought was very cool to see over there. Well, this is entertaining, isn't it? Well, the carriages were fun. Remember the first time we were at the grocery store and you have to put a coin in order to separate the carriage?
Look, we have it in some markets.
So we were fumbling for change. We didn't have change, and one of the workers came over and gave you a slug.
Yeah. And she goes, oh, just use this. And we still have that slug. Many years later, we always have it in our change of when we go back. So we always have the same slug. And
it's our lucky slug.
It's our lucky slug. Yeah, that's what it is. But no, it's great, and I love how it's the grocery store, but then there's a nice cafe shop there, so you can get your espresso or your galao in the morning with
or liquor, because they do liquor too.
They do liquor too,
which is just great.
Which is wonderful.
You grocery shopping.
You can get liquored up.
Get lit.
You know, it's an all-in-one store.
I'm sure that boosts sales.
I bet it does.
If they can keep you on your feet. Then that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I think it is. I really think it is. So yeah.
And so the first time we go, we'll go together. And then subsequently, I'll end up going alone. I mean, I know how to get there. But I end up paying by credit card because then I don't have to deal with numbers and talking. I deal with numbers and talking. We talked about my challenge with the language. I really thought I had it nailed. And I went into the store thinking, I know my numbers. Because I could count to 10. I know my numbers. And I probably spent like €7.68. And the cashier spoke so fast, and I couldn't see the screen, the readout, so I didn't know how much I had spent. I didn't understand what she was saying, and I was like, and I couldn't run out. That would be bad.
That would be bad.
I think I just put a 20 down and waited for the change, and I'm sure she felt it was like dealing with the disadvantage.
Okay. It's all right.
It was.
They're
After
fine.
that, I just go back to credit card.
Yeah, they're fine.
They're fine. To credit card, but
No.
that was.
Oh, it's nice. I like that. I said that to someone else not too long ago. I'm like, when you go there, do you go to the grocery store? And they're like, no, because of course they're staying at a hotel and doing all that. We go to shopping, we do this, but we don't go to a grocery store. And I'm like, you need to make that part of your visit. Just like pop in to see what they have, because it's really neat to see the products that Portugal produces, as well as in the Azores, what these delicious things that we produce that not is all available here.
And what was good heavens, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on it. The grocery store at the mall at Atlantico.
Continent.
I thought it was Continent.
Yeah, it is Continent.
That place was always busy.
Yeah, it's huge.
And
Beautiful.
They've got all sorts of services inside the grocery
Yep.
store. They've got your wireless place. They've got like dry cleaners. They've got.
It's like an all-stop shop. It's awesome.
And remember the cheese counter? How busy the cheese counter
Oh,
was?
yes. You had to take a number and yes.
It
Yes.
was like being in Federal Hill here in Providence, which is the Italian section in Providence, where they've got some great Italian delis and busy cheese counters. This was like that, except it was in Portugal.
In the Azores, yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
And it was, again, cheese from everywhere. So there was prosciutto and other stuff that came from Trás-os-Montes. There was stuff that came from Alentejo. There was stuff that came from everywhere, not just from the Azores. So it was neat to try the different cheeses and the different meats, the cured meats that come from everywhere. So again, it's a wonderful stop. Definitely we suggest that for everyone who goes and visits, no matter where. You need to pop into the grocery store and see how the locals shop and what you can get, and maybe you can find something that you never realized was available there, and it could be your favorite thing, and you never even knew it was there. So
bring home a can of hot dogs for your family.
Yes, because they will say, "I got you this, honey." Yeah, no, please don't do that. Don't do that. No. You don't want to bring a can of hot dogs as a gift. I went to the Azores, and I'm going to bring back a gift, and I'm going to give you a can of hot dogs. I don't think so. No.
For the friend who has everything, they probably don't have a can of hot dogs.
They would not be our friend anymore.
We really need to call it a day.
We do.
We do. All right.
All right, guys. Have a great one, and keep those...
keep the questions coming.
Yeah, keep the questions coming, and we'll answer them. All right, guys. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.